How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So, let's expect an unusual end. Welcome to Biomutant. Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class. Saboteur. Dead Mercenary, Deadeye, Commando, Psy-Freak, Saboteur, Sentinel, Commando. Commando chosen. Sounds good. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads, but for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you, your inner voice to be.
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me. But I'll be here waiting for you when you have a change of heart.
That thing? I'm right here. Let me remind you, we're two halves of the same, with the difference being I'm the better half.
Better half? My way is
The best end is the one you decide yourself, and it seems we're headed in the right direction.
Guess left can be right, sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family? Or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the Predator only grew stronger. for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The Predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die. Right in the face. Strung up. The oil sludges everywhere. For most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Wonder what you could make with that. Great shot. Bullets everywhere. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right, but no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. Of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. That's going to leave a mark. One down. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. Those are the kind of things you need. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew... The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. It's a scar. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided. After the old village was destroyed and you disappeared, a struggle between the families erupted, and over time, the disciples turned against each other. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. Magic? He claims it's just the force of life, the existence of energy, powering and connecting all things living, like the Nono. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it, see if you can make one come out of hiding. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. Only time will tell. At least his intention is to dedicate his life to it. He has the feeling the fate of the world depends on it. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the Nono as they become one with the tree. You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy. You handle that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed. He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai tree. They're hiding in the glitter grass that mostly grows deep inside damp caves, where they draw mineral from the natural rock. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. Now that you've seen the Nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, you have no reason to doubt. From this day on, he'll make nurturing the Pensai into a tree of life, a life goal, not only for our village's sake, but for all of us, everyone. One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land won't survive the side effects of the old world's industrial advances. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good here today. That's not true. She's the reason there's still unity, and the only one strong enough to keep the 6 Wang Fu disciples disciplined. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun. And it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived. Records tell of the ruinous devastation the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land. The apocalypse sparked a re-evolution, the Second Coming, and our lineage. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his Octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Majut and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Googlide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the end of each route. The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater. The Mekton, the Octopod, the Majut, and the Googlide are almost ready to ride. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the Tribe War and the situation with the World Eaters. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look! A survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. Out of Date knows you'll make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there's two nearby. The Jackney tribe is likely to be your primary choice as they seek to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy. as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world, and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side. He believes the tribe Sifus, Jagni especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. In Jagni's case, letting the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life is part of their plan. They believe a cleansing is the only way the world can be saved. He'll be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life if you lose track of what you need to do. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be? It's a bridge. Just get over it. They've destroyed this area, muddied up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war, or part of the problem. Let's see. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. He can see you're a free spirit, so he'll let you in. The Sifu is always interested in meeting someone open to joining their cause.
Zata is the moi totloho. Kariesne zdace. Par
The Jagni tribe wants to become omnipresent and, most importantly, feared. They want to vanquish the tribes, as the only way they can guarantee peace is through supremacy. The Sifu is determined to let the World Eaters destroy the Tree of Life, as it's part of their strategy to cleanse the world and start anew. He welcomes you to the Jagni fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. The news of a cold-blooded Ronin crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 preceded you. The wall that separates them from the other side, the wasteland you came from. He guesses the time spent there just left a blank space in your memory, as empty and barren as the wasteland itself. He understands that sometimes we need to lose ourselves to find ourselves, but he's glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted. Sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about your Muma for ages, even though she taught him a lot. He was one of the original Wang Fu disciples. Your Muma invented Wang Fu. Originally, it was based on unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. Says fear and hatred is the only path to domination, but you already know that. So he Their kin must put an end to the war before war puts an end to them. It'll cost bruises and broken bone, but they refuse to be the victim here. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secrets, Wang Fu and the tribe weapon now, is if you defeat him. And that will never happen. You both share dark thoughts. So they want to wage a war. A war where all that's left behind is casualties. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim the rival outposts and earn the right to wield the tribe. Once you've conquered the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu for control of their territory, tribe weapon, and kin. Your Muma taught each disciple a weapon. She never intended it for hunting nor war, but lately the art of defense has been Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good. Anyway, he can't blame you for not remembering, but he can sense the stillness of something lost. Hope. Claims to have strange. Says this. The gatekeeper welcomes you back to the fort. Says you'll meet again. Better beware, that's a mump up ahead. They were hit hard by evolution, the wonky ones especially, deformed and unfurled. You're in pain. If anyone can take it, it's you. Time is lost on this place, but it evokes a tingling sensation. There's something special about it, drawing you closer. Let's see. As time passes, memories fade, and sometimes feelings change. It's not about who you were, it's about who you'll become. This story is far from over. Echoes of a long-lost past, like whispers in the wind. Here's someone who takes each day as it comes. He asks how you are today. Goop says he always does better whenever he leaves failure behind. He wonders where you've been. He hopes... Learning to swim can be scary when you don't know what you're doing. But he thinks you should really know how to swim by now. Knowing how to swim won't solve life's hard problems, but at least one of them won't be drowning. He says that wasn't too bad, was it? He says a feeling that you're going to drown is a great reminder of the need to learn how to swim. But you need practice, lots of practice. Great things usually happen to those who never stop trying. He hopes you'll be one of them. He won't let anyone know you can't swim. He assumes that's what you meant. Judging by your Mooma's look, it seems you forgot something. You promised you'd train with her before the sun goes down. It's time to go. She's not unhappy with your progress, but you still have a lot to prove. You should know, practice makes perfect. As long as it doesn't kill you, it'll only make you stronger. She'll see you at the village square. She says that's good. With a passion for learning, you'll never cease to grow. Here's another familiar face with lots on his mind. Asks how you're feeling today. Being nice comes easy for him. That doesn't make it less important. He was hoping you could help him pick up some scrap for a thingamajig he's working on. He thinks you should look for things that are recyclable. It shouldn't take you too long. He wonders. Sometimes he can work wonders with almost anything and asks if you know how to upcycle. He'd love to teach you to upcycle, and the scrap you found would be a good start. You did well, but he can't help but wonder why you decided to craft a weapon. He believed it looks like she's starting to lose her patience. You know she doesn't like waiting for you. She wants to see you. Then you've got a good excuse. You share a responsibility to prevent hardship on nature and the environment. It's your future. She wants you to grow up and start thinking for yourself. You really need to find yourself. That's all she's ever asked of you, that you'll try and give it your best. You can't do more than that. You've always followed your own path, but this time she needs you to follow her. Then They look determined. Better watch out. He asks you to stop right there and what? He's not scared of anything. There's no way they'll let you. He wants to know who you think you are. They push each other to become better, and sometimes someone gets... She asks if you're hurt. What happened? She says it's nice of you to consider them, but the most important thing is it's time to focus on your training now. You won't need excuses if you... Here's someone close to heart, doing what he does best. Seeing you always puts a smile on your Popsy's face. He wants to know how you're feeling. He knows growing up is hard, and things will continue to go wrong as you become older and figure out how to make them right. He asks if you could help him too before you leave for training. He wishes that he suggests. He's all for renewal, and has even he can work wonders with pretty much anything, and thinks some are and some aren't. One thing's for sure, though, your Muma thinks it. He's... The style might be too edgy for his taste, but it looks sharp on you. He knows. You should take it with you, wear it to practice. He thinks you should. She'll be proud of you. Your Muma says it's about time you got here.
Anora kapapum.
Says being on time.
Kala kanaruta.
She says she is eager,
Katyaktopoluta. Andro?
but there's enough time left for repetition and you need it.
Tukonda.
That's a good attitude as long as you keep learning.
Kanyala Natoro.
Your Muma says you did well today. She's so proud of you.
Beri.
Thanks you for being such a good student.
Kanyala Natoro. Volakamunum rutna.
Been working on a present for...
Monidasa. Kanamunta.
You should go see him and find out what it is. You've deserved it.
Can't see.
Says he's always thought so well of you, just like her. Catchy.
Ferena Masalapu.
Your Muma says she's never seen an apparatus.
Kanyala Natoro.
She's happy.
Minalagi Mamuru. Kanaruta.
A piece of Scraptronics like this has built...
Ruemutuno.
It's called an automaton, and it's hardwired.
Andro?
You're lucky to have such a fine helper with you.
Vaiseno Kasaman Barut.
Your Muma says you look tired. No wonder. It's been a long day.
Sana Yote.
She's so happy you made the most of it. Rest, and you'll find strength for tomorrow. Nothing could stop Lupin from setting the world on fire. Your Muma urges you to blaze a trail. A burnt kidling will learn to dread fire. That's just adding fuel to the flames. Give it a last burst and you'll make it. Your Muma says this is it. The time has come.
It's intended.
Lupa Lupin is a problem older than you.
Vaiseno Kasaman Barut. Narote.
Whatever happens, you need to know she loves you. And everything she's done has been to protect you, your Popsy, and those she was chosen to lead.
Kanyala Natoro.
She tells you to stay back. This is her fight. It has nothing to do with you. History has finally caught up with her. She had a life before you were born, you know. Darker and less fun. Here it comes. The past coming to haunt the present. You must go through fire and water to make it out of here. Dormuma says you can make it if you believe in it. Where she goes, you go. Blood is thicker than water. You're in deep surf. Don't make waves. The surf goes where it wants to go. It'll take you to the shore as long as you go with the flow. Death is not to be feared by one who has lived life with a pure heart. A part of her will live on in you. The creature is hungry for more. Nothing is going to stand in its way now. If a sacrifice is made for someone else, it's not lost, but passed on to the next. Life must go on. Real sacrifice comes from love and necessity, when all other options are exhausted. The ultimate test of conscience is the willingness to give up anything to save what you truly care about. What you do for yourself dies with you. What you do for your kin remains and makes you immortal in their memory. As the moment fades and is lost, the only thing that remains is loneliness. It doesn't mean you'll forget your past. It simply means you need to move on. The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out, it's no pet. They couldn't keep it down. Fluff hulk's on the loose. Down to half your health. Took care. It was harder than expected to take down the Fluff Hulk. They've received news a Ronin joined the tribe's ranks and were looking forward to meeting you. A group of Jagni warriors are already waiting for you at Myriad's Vespidut outpost. You should hurry there and help them storm the outpost. That you chose... Look, an emergency box from the old... Wow, bet that nut makes a tight fist. What a bruiser! Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear it? Trigger finger. Is something sinister hiding among the trees? This corner of the world is called Bricktown. It's Peekaboo Park. Young ones love this sort of place. Don't lose your way in the blackness. This one seems has heard asks you to do the right thing for the sake of your seems happy but surprised you chose
Fan that flame!
Wait, no! Bright light blinds! It's dangerous!
I've got all the cold sick burns you need, Dark.
Oh, do you have to insult me over this?
I don't have to.
That's a myriad tribe outpost. Check out those guns. The Vespidat outpost, longtime home of the Myriad tribe. Says you need to hit them where it hurts, inflict as much suffering as possible, and make it clear your tribe is a terror to their existence. Triumph is always the culmination of many, many small victories. They're eager to start the takeover now. They'll follow your lead. Here's the first line of defense. That's a bomb lobber. spot, wrecked it. Give those twirly wheels a turn. Just a few moves left. Make them count. That wasn't the right way. Yes, the river tub's going down the drain. Keep going. That cage is holding a helper. Says they've been treated fair, but is glad to wishes there was another way, but... A sharpshooter. The scaffolding looks Better stay clear of the red ray. Here's the second line of defense. Red means danger. Bet a big bump will bring it down. Switched off the light. A barrel shoot. Smack it to get a barrel out of it. Then hit it toward the gate and blast it. That looks splody. Shoot it and watch it blow. Not too close, though. Kaboom! You're in. Almost there. The outpost belongs to your tribe now. He says you made them weaker, but they won't give up. Your Sifu thanks you. Your tribe is growing stronger.
Or
Says you did a great job capturing the outpost. You've earned the privilege of carrying the tribe's weapon. Says you're lucky to have the honor. Out of Date says he's doing his best to keep up, but from what he can tell, it seems you're making progress with the tribe conflict. He had a feeling you'd get along with the Jagni tribe, but it remains to be seen what the future holds for your alliance. You seem to get along with the Jagni tribe, which doesn't come as a surprise as you share an ominous outlook on life. But Out of Date emphasizes that solving the tribe conflict won't matter unless you help make a stand against the World Eaters. That's the sound of impending doom. Out of Date's premonitions of imminent disaster are true. The Porkypuff needs to be handled. He says the time has come to confront the Porkypuff at the end of the East Route. Goop is working on making his goo glide strong enough to break the waves out to the World Eater. You should get over there and see what you can do to help. Nothing like light to brighten your day. There's no time to waste. We'll be around when you return. That there's Subnautica Station. Goop flounders around in there. Seems like there's a whole world of adventure out there. History is nothing but a series of stories. Let's see.
Langu, aje tawa, hoga, tenko mukan bali.
Gulpo ain't the easiest tongue, but I think he says he's happy to see a friendly face. Not too many of those around these days. Says it's good to see you again. He's Goop. You might remember him from the old days when he tried to teach you how to swim. Goop says you were always so righteous as a child, and he can still feel it, even at a distance. Goop says memories fade surprisingly fast. We are all pieces of what we remember. It's only together we can remember the story as it was. He can't tell you much as he didn't want to hear anything about it. He can't understand how someone could be so vicious, even though he knows there are reasons behind it. Goop says our memory keeps things for us and protects them until we are ready to face them again. He understands you've returned to face Lupa Lupin. That's the destiny you've been carrying within yourself all these years. He says that the catastrophe back then didn't vanquish the good in you. It's still there, as bright as when you were a child. Now the time has come for you to remember and act. Your life is your life, not the story you're told about it.
Awali yatu puwila.
He thinks that's the right thing to do. It's only when you have forgiven that you'll find peace.
Light instantly banishes dark.
How much light do you really need?
All the light, all of it!
I mean, you could leave a little space for the dark.
All the light.
Ajitawa.
Says life on the goo is wide open. You have so many choices of where to go. Some harder than others, of course. Which kind do you like?
Tirami. Yukia.
Best to stick close to the shore then, where the goo isn't so deep. That's like being close to your friends who can help when things go wrong.
Ajimbotalante. Yurakia.
Figures the world is a goner. Even the goo will go gone.
Tuntua kawaita.
Thanks you for doing everything you could to de-goop the surf.
Wanakanwako.
Wonders why you're flapping around with the Jagni. They spend too much time nesting to do anything fun.
Tonako.
Figures you must have met different Jagni than he has.
Fativi.
But hey, back to the goo.
Ajitawa. Hompohoga. Itaku.
Knows yesterday is already gone. It's what you do today and tomorrow that'll move you forward. You need to set the past aside, at least for now.
Nusa mako exekon.
He can't leave the Subnautica station, as the pollution has worn down the insulation of his suit, so you must salvage enough scrap to fix up his goo glide, starting with the old wreck box outside.
Mako. Manutai baradrade. Wawanuika.
You should return when you've retrieved the scrap. There's no time to waste if you want to make the goo glide strong enough to fight the Porky Puff.
Yukia. Tunsa. Be.
Out of Date told him the undersurf was the epicenter of the contamination. This was where it struck hardest and inflicted the biggest change to the ecosystem. It's shockingly dark out there. Bet something's up there. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Do you feel safer or more exposed in the dark? There's so much more to see now. Blonkety blonk. This is all about you. Whether you succeed or fail, it's on you. Right between the eyes. Rid of the aches and pains. Half dead. Get under that sky while you still can. Oh, smell that? Biohazard nearby. Toxanol's offshore drilling caused oily matter to spread with the... Looks like the switches need to be turned to match so enough charge can flow through the conductors. Just a few moves left. Make them count. Bristles like the hair of one electrified. You need to line up the switches so they match. Good. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework.
Mukamme. Sayruya.
He's got the goo glide functional. You'll have a pull hook and a salvage net, but no armor, and an engine strong enough to break through the thick goo further out. There are lots of valuables left behind on the surf floor that the salvage net will enable you to haul. You just need to find the right spots. Goop says Gizmo's devised a cannon for the goo glide, but instead of bullets, it flips quacks. Squeaky distractions for the triple attentive porky puff, which will give you time to get yourself in position. The best way to find quacks is to talk to Gulp. He has the bearings of the surf archipelago and knows where the quacks like to float. This means you'll have the privilege of visiting Gulp in the Sinky Dink. That's where he bobs. Gulp refuses to move from that barge, despite the fact it makes him burf. Goop's not sure, though, if it's the surf sickness or the radium syrup that causes it. You move like the wind. New ways to make you weirder. No more goo glue. Welcome to the Surfipelago, where the horizon rests on the surfy goo. You're poking around Pockbur, a prime village. This here is the Sinky Dink, home of Gulp, at the very least.
Aufschlag.
He's pretty sure he's heard of you before, although the details are maybe a little hazy. He wonders if you have something for him to drink. Points out that he's hungry too, but always thirsty for more.
Aufschlag.
Says you look like you've got a powerful thirst to do something in this world. Good, bad, not really sure, but it seems like you've been drinking in your destiny and liking the flavor. Wonders if you could take the time to help a man slake his own thirst. You'd be doing him a liquid solid. You're a do-gooder, so you know you want to. Either way, he hopes you find a way to wet your whistle before the world comes to an awful dry end and leaves us all thirsting for more. Says life's like a mystery drink. Sometimes it's amazing, and sometimes it's awful. But either way, you can't stop drinking till you're dead. Sure, but that's nowhere near as quick and easy. Who wants to stop to chew? Says you should toast the end of the world, but you'd better hurry. It's coming soon. Respects how you always try to help, no matter that the world's fate is hard to swallow. Thinks it's funny you wound up with the Jagni. They drink so little, like birds. Guesses someone has to be, but he can't swallow the sight of it. But who cares about them? Says you'd be as bummed out as him if you came for the hot stuff. The Glugmocker, Nimhimbibble, and his favourite radium syrup. That one's even more intoxicating now, aged in truck tankers and all. Without a drink, and radium syrup especially, he can't move, much less think, as the power of his mind is directly proportioned to the quantity of syrup he swigs. That's why he's called Gulp. The drink helps him forget the state the world is in, but it only lasts until tomorrow. The world is still doomed, even if the sun... It makes most dumber, but that's his special burden to bear. He wants you to know he has other interests, too. He's the Surfipelago's self-proclaimed ornithologist, for example. There are other ways than a cold drink to relieve stress, even in these dark times, and, fortunately... Watching Pippi's flap is calming, but better yet are the ones you can look at. Says he's not sure you... Says you'll see.
my hand. That money I made playing for the man. My baby's at home, lying on the floor. Wondering